What exactly are you doing right now? What's happened?
So we're protesting through Cardiff city centre just to try get our voices heard and just get it more into the public's eye so they can sort of look into what we're going through and what we're trying to fight.
I believe that the government really want to destroy farmers. They want to get rid of the small farmers in particular. I know that the UN agenda by 2050 they want to phase out meat. And unfortunately the population isn't aware of the plan. They want to replace that then with lab-grown meat, and Bill Gates are heavily into that. He's highly invested into that, and who knows what the side effects of that is.
What are the subsidies asking you to do that you're not happy with?
Plant 10% of our land in trees, 10% habitats, 5% ponds.
The scheme basically will be paying for environmental and habitat changes. They will not be supporting food production. So we'll be losing land to trees, you'll be losing land to habitats. And the money that they'll be paying you will be to pay for that. So the farmers themselves will not be getting any expendable income, if you like, which will not support food production. We need support for food production.
There was a study released that said that there would be something like 5,500 farmers put out of business by the changes in government subsidy schemes. And those farmers, especially are family farms, you know, with ties to their local community. It's going to have a knock-on effect in terms of the loss of people from the land. And to me personally, what I want is family farmers and small family farms and people producing the food, not corporations, because that's what's happening. There's a green agenda, which is essentially corporations buying up farmland to plant trees on. And we can't eat trees.
The subsidies that we get and the changes that are being proposed, they're going to bankrupt me. They're going to put me out of business. The way things are looking, we're going to have to take a large chunk of what acreage we've got out of production, and we don't have the capacity to take that hit to our finances if we don't sign up.
There's no young entrant scheme, so any young farmers, there's nothing to make life easier for them.
There's no mention at all really for new entrants, and then with the younger generation, with the young farmers, unless you've been actively in farming already, you can't get any support at all. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm here today.
We find it quite hard as farmers that we're actually handling more money, but maybe even making less money because everyone else seems to be creaming it off us. As for the general public and what they're paying for meat, they think we're probably doing better because they're having to pay more for it. But if costs keep rising at the rate they're rising, there'll be lots of farmers who will have to seriously think if they're going to carry on farming, or they're better off renting the farmer out if they're lucky enough to be in a position maybe to put solar panels down. It's against us to do it because we want to farm the ground, and it's what we do as farmers.
The Welsh Government doesn't seem to be in favour of supporting food production. Farmers are here to produce food first and foremost. If farmers aren't producing food, we will have to rely on imports. We have got such a huge amount of people in the world starving, and we will be having to pull imports past those starving countries to feed people in Wales when Welsh farmers can produce that food. To me, it's nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. All we need is a fair value for our food.
The reason I'm here is because I support the farmers and buying farm produce, because it would help with keeping the nation fitter and healthier.
And as a consumer, can't I just get imports?
Yeah, you can, but there's a lot of cost to the climate, and not only that, the welfare of the animals, the welfare of the vegetables and everything is a lot lower than the quality here. So as long as if you want quality, you'll have to pay for it, which isn't good for the consumer. But at the end of the day, you know, if you want to eat healthier, you've got to sort of eat British, really.
We can't compete with other countries who don't have our welfare and hygiene standards.
You know, try not to go to your supermarkets, see if there's any local farmers markets, any local butchers, and just sort of support them instead of the supermarkets. because they're taking all the profit out, not giving it to the farmer.
We've had 24 years now of being organic, and the amount of fodder we produce now is equivalent to what we produced in the 1970s, but without pouring fertiliser and chemicals all over the land. We can give up 20% of the land in Wales, and then we can import food from South America, and they'll cut down a whole load more rainforest to produce it. And that's what will happen. And I don't know, we'll find out whether people care. If people care, they'll use their feet to vote at the supermarket, and they'll use their wallet. I believe that if people can buy local, if it can be produced locally and marketed locally, purchased locally and consumed locally, that's massively beneficial to the environment. So that's why I've come to Cardiff today to get involved in this protest.